Homelessness 2.0 day 9. Still haven't done laundry because when I was informed of where the laundry was, I didn't actually know what to look for. So when I finally decided to look for it, I think I found someone's room instead. And I felt bad about that. But it was nighttime, and nighttime is now earlier than usual. By the way, it's like, I want to say maybe close to 10 a.m. right now. I sent a message to my Airbnb host and, told him, I'd like to do laundry. I don't want to snoop around since it's nighttime. Kind of fudge that a little bit because I had already done so by accident. And so she came over, knocked on my door, showed me where it was at, which is like a little thing that they have set outside, which is kind of neat. And so it's like, all right, cool. And she said I could go ahead and do it today since it's Tuesday, even though Mondays were the designated day. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here in a moment once I'm done recording this. Sent an email off to the driving school. I'll probably go ahead and call them in a bit. But one thing that I realized, I was making some eggs, hard-boiled eggs, sort of mid-hard, if you will. If you want to liken it to steak, it was more like medium well. Because like well done eggs are when you open it up and the whole thing is set, looks kind of on the dry side. Your soft boiled eggs, especially like the super soft ones, like the 3-minute eggs or whatever it is, where you barely even have you don't even have like a totally set white. Those would be effectively like rare or tartare, if you will. I mean, anybody who's straight up eaten raw eggs, I mean, I guess that's the tartare, but I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, at least when you're cooking it, because I mean, the real issue with eggs with regards to salmonella is the shell. That's where the real salmonella issue is. It's not the inside of the egg, it's the actual shell. Because, it comes out of their butthole. Well, their cloaca, which is a combination butthole, urethra, and so many other things. But, so that's where the salmonella issue is. But, I mean, you do you if you like raw eggs, if you like slurping them down like a big old wad of snot. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I can't do oysters. I had heard that oysters were basically like a big snot ball. That was from my mother, and so, being the influence that she was, I pretty much like, I'm never going to touch oysters. And then I was like, well, I might as well try them, because she's not the authority on things, and come find out that, yeah, she's pretty much right on that one. But, I mean, that's one of the things about life, too, is that, try the things that you might be afraid to try. You might actually like them. But maybe not. I don't know. But, I was making some soft-boiled eggs. I started sweeping up in the kitchen because I was like, oh, hey, some dirty spots that I don't understand how they're here, but whatever. It's not like I'm wandering around outside all the time. And I usually, put my shoes down here right next to the door. Sometimes I'll walk around a little bit. I try not to, but, forgetfulness and stuff. And I haven't really done much in the last few days. Who knows? Places just get dirty. But I realize, I don't dislike cleaning. I don't like it. It's not like I find it to be, particularly joyful. I do kind of enjoy vacuuming. There's a sense of zen that's involved in it. But maybe I think, I don't hate cleaning like I used to. And I would say part of the reason why is because this place is already clean. It's like, I'm not trying to clean up after another person. I'm not dealing with the same issues I used to have in the past. Yeah, I don't clean as frequently as perhaps others might want me to, especially if I were to live with them. I left a bunch of dirty dishes in the sink for a few days. I mean, they kind of were slowly replaced. So it's like a sink of Theseus. It's like, is the sink still the same? Is the dirty sink still the same dirty sink? Even though new pieces have been replaced over the last couple of days. That's so stupid, but I love it. And again, I don't hate cleaning like I used to. I hate cleaning dirty places. Having a place where you don't have a whole lot of stuff helps. Because then you can see the floor, you can see the stuff. And I've already been fully aware of all these things. It's just that the last several years have prevented me from redoing it like I did back in Texas when I had my own place. And having the right tools on hand. There's a broom that's just sitting there. I mean, I pulled it out so it's more visible. But, knowing that it's there too helps. I wouldn't mind, something I was kind of thinking while I was cleaning up. I was like, I wouldn't mind being a kept man. Wouldn't be a problem. I hate work. That's something I really do hate. I hate work. I have no desire to work. I have no dream job. One of the things I posted on... Oops. It came out faster than I was thinking it was gonna. Good thing I have spare. Blow my nose a little bit off screen. Spare paper towels, but oh man, that was. Well, there's this image that I saw within the last week that I posted up on LinkedIn. It's like, I don't have a dream job. Why would I dream of labor? And it resonated a lot. I don't dream of labor. I don't dream of most jobs. Because most jobs, and I think that may be the thing about dream jobs, is that we are kind of conditioned to want that anyway. It's like, what do you want to do when you grow up? Well, I don't fucking know. You know what I want in my life? It's not what I want to do. It's what I want in my life. I want financial stability. I want a place I can call my own that is reasonable with regards to things like cleanliness and upkeep, maintenance. I don't want to do most of the work with regards to fixing things. So like bigger household projects, I would rather those be taken over by someone who's competent and knows what they're doing. And so like, I don't want to be a homeowner with regards to that. I'm fine renting for the rest of my life. I am. I don't have a problem with that. The problem I have with renting for the rest of my life, however, is how things are being approached right now, where rent just continues to increase and wages don't increase compared to inflation or cost of living. And so unless you are making a crap ton of money where you can save up a lot to cover your future and also have a life now, you are in very much a similar boat as to a lot of other people who are working paycheck to paycheck, who are constantly struggling against rising housing costs and inflation. And even if you do get a bonus or a pay increase, if it's not greater than inflation, then you actually got a pay decrease. And so there's all of these societal issues, and they're kind of in the forefront right now, where we are heading in a direction to create more and more serfs, basically. We're going to create a serfdom if we don't already have one. And that is problematic. We should seek to avoid that. We shouldn't look at billionaires as people to look up to. We shouldn't look at predatory companies and say, well, they're smart business people. Yeah, maybe they're smart business people, but they're also, evil when they make so much money that they could turn around and fix everybody's lives who work for them. If you're a company, obviously the first thing you should be doing is thinking about what it is you're providing. Are you providing a service? Are you providing a product, etc.? Those things are obviously why you should have been the reason why you built that company in the first place. It shouldn't be, well, let's see how much money we can make as quickly as possible. People who think like that should have a really hard time. Businesses who make products, who want to expand, who want to build up, shouldn't think like that in the first place. They shouldn't be thinking about money. They should be thinking about what the product is and getting that product and/or service out to the consumers. But also fully aware of the fact that the people who make up their company are the reason why their company continues to succeed. It's not CEOs, it's not middle management, it's the people at the bottom. They're the foundation. You don't neglect the foundation of your house because that's stupid. And that is one of the reasons why I don't wish to work. One of the few things that I wish to do on a regular basis is have a life where I can take care of my necessities in a way that are not stressful, that are not, what's the word I'm looking for, awkward or inconvenient. When I was looking at apartments, some of them don't even have kitchens. Some of them don't even have laundry on site. I saw an apartment that had a kitchenette, which is one of those little tiny things. It's basically like a small cabinet, a small sink, and a very small electric stove on top. And that's it. But it had the room for a stove, a refrigerator, and a dishwasher. But for whatever reason, those things did not exist. Look, even this place doesn't have a dishwasher. You could put a dishwasher literally right there. Boom, dishwasher. Fridge over there. Okay, so it's not in the room per se. And this is a small kitchen, but I'm okay with this kitchen this size. This is perfectly acceptable size. You put a dishwasher here. It doesn't have to be a massive one because, again, it is a small kitchen. This is a small stove. This isn't a huge stove. It even has a vent hood. And this vent hood's nice. It's got this giant sink. But, this counter space would be perfectly acceptable. All right? It is this counter space is perfectly acceptable for a lot of stuff. Yeah, I've got all sorts of crap all over the place and some stuff I haven't washed and whatnot. But, I have my salt, I've got my nutritional yeast seasoning, I got my oil, I got my pepper, and I got a couple of cans that I'm going to use for things that are compostable. I forgot to throw my eggshells in here because I wasn't thinking about it. But, when I've got bell peppers or whatever, avocado pits, I can just kind of toss those in there. And when I'm done, boom, done. Throw them in a compost or throw them in the trash can or whatever. And this room, I would change a couple of things around. The size of the bed works. I would want some kind of table that I can work at. I might put it over there. It wouldn't be huge, but it would work. I probably wouldn't have this coffee table. I might have the table right there instead. There's a lot of things that I would change about a space like this because it has the room to. But why isn't there a dishwasher? It could be over here too. This seems like it's slightly bigger. And so maybe a dishwasher needs to be in a bigger spot. But I mean, there's so many inefficiencies in the way things are built and the way that they are designed. It almost feels like it's intentionally done to be inconvenient. Like this is a very large walk-in closet. Like, there's a dresser in there that I wouldn't even really need. Could put, an in-unit washer and dryer there. For some reason, stuff like that doesn't exist in a lot of places. There's so many inefficiencies because they just seem to not care. And I'm not saying this about the Airbnb themselves. I don't know. But at least in this town, there are a lot of things that are done just straight up wrong. They're just done wrong. They make no sense from a, hey, this person is living here standpoint. It is something else. And it's probably money. And that's usually the problem. Like, I get when people say, money is the root of all evil. It's not so much that money is the root of all evil. It's that when that's all you think of, and that's why you do what you do, and things, especially when you're doing things that involve literal, actual other people, that's when you start becoming evil. And that has been a problem for a very long time. But it also seems to be, maybe that's just because of where I go on the internet, that there's more and more awareness of this problem. Especially because it's post-COVID. I say post, we're still in the middle of it. It's just that we've decided not to think that it's the same anymore because it's been almost 2 years. With people having been out of work and losing their jobs and rent going up anyway and billionaires making a ton of money and the average person's lives getting worse at the expense of those who already have enough. We are watching the beginnings of something that will be conflicting and dramatic. And I don't mean in the drama, but I mean actual problematic drama. And hopefully a lot of what is happening will have enough waves to create real change. But in the process of that, like a balloon slowly growing and filling with too much air and getting close to a very sharp needle, there will be some kind of violence to that end. There will be a last-ditch effort to make it all work. I don't know what that is. I'm not excited to see when that day comes. We've already had other days similar to that. And there will be a lot of aftermath that will be hard to clean up. But maybe in the next 10 or 20 years, we'll see the fruits of change. And whether I'm alive or not will determine whether or not I get to see it, because that's all I can think of in that regard. And since I can do my laundry today because I know where I'm going to do it, I'm going to go ahead and do that very soon. So have fun.